In this video, we're going to be looking at the first part of lesson 10.6 on finding the surface area of pyramids. The 10.6 day 2 video will go over finding the surface area of cones. Before we look at the formulas, let's review some important vocabulary words related to pyramids. A pyramid is a 3D figure that's formed by a polygon base and triangular lateral faces that meet at a common point called the vertex. So the vertex of the pyramid is going to be where those triangles come together. In this picture, it's right there at the top. The altitude of the pyramid is the perpendicular segment from the vertex to the plane of the base. The altitude is also called the height. Those two words can be used interchangeably. So let's also label this altitude as height. It's that perpendicular distance from the vertex of the pyramid down to the base. So how tall it is. The slant height is a new term this section. The slant height of a pyramid is the distance from the vertex to the midpoint of an edge of the base. Another way to think about the slant height is it's the height of a triangle face. It's called the slant height because it's kind of slanted there on the side of the pyramid. It's not the straight height of the distance from the base to the vertex, but rather from the vertex to the midpoint of an edge of the base. And then our final two terms here are review. The lateral area is going to be the sum of the area of the lateral faces, which in the case of a pyramid, the lateral faces are all triangles. So it's going to be the sum of the triangles. And then the surface area is the sum of the lateral area and the area of the base. As we did earlier this chapter, we will abbreviate lateral area with LA and surface area as SA. To find the lateral area of a pyramid, what you can do is you can break the pyramid up. So here's an example of a square pyramid. The sides of the square are all S. And if we take those four triangles and we line them up, we get part of a rectangle whose length is 4 S's, that perimeter of the base, and whose height corresponds with the slant height of the pyramid. So notice that red dotted line right there matches right here. So the height of our rectangle is the L and the base is the P. So if I were to find the area of the rectangle would be P times L. But you'll notice that the lateral area is half the area of the rectangle. So that gives us, if the rectangle's area is P times L, the four triangles, or any number of triangles, depending on what our base is going to be that P times L divided by 2. So that is our equation for lateral area, where P is the perimeter of the base. Recall that the perimeter of the base is equal to the number of sides times the side length. So N refers to the number of sides, and S is the length of a side. And this formula only works for regular pyramids. So all of the sides in the base are going to be the same. Once you know the lateral area, you're one step away from finding the surface area. For the surface area of a pyramid, we just need to add back in the base. The lateral area covers the triangular faces. For the surface area, we want to include the base also. So the formula for the surface area is equal to the lateral area plus the area of one base. You can also write that as SA equals P times L divided by 2 plus capital B. So that just combines the two together. And for that capital B, that's the area of the base, you'll have to use the appropriate area formula. So our bases are going to be either rectangles, triangles, or regular polygons. If you'd like to review those formulas, I wrote them down here. Area of a rectangle, base times height. The area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. And for a regular polygon, the area is A times P divided by 2. There's a place on your formula sheet for Unit 10 for you to place these 3 formulas. So now let's try a couple examples. We're going to find the lateral area and the surface area of this pyramid. First, I want to identify the base. The base is going to be the side that's across from the vertex. So you can see the vertex is right here. The base is directly opposite the vertex. So the base is this square here. So I have a rectangle base, and notice that all the sides are 12. So it's actually a square. The first thing we need to do to calculate the lateral area is to find the perimeter of the base. Well, for the perimeter of the base, this base has 4 sides, n equals 4, and each side is 12. So take 4 times 12, and that's 48. So our P value is 48, and then the slant height is going to be the height of one of the triangular faces. You can see in the picture here that the slant height is 13.4. And now that we have that, we are ready to go to our formula. LA equals P times L divided by 2. So I'm going to take 48 times 13.4. I'm going to put that in my calculator, hit enter, and then divide by 2. And when you do that, you will end up with 321.6. So that 321.6 is the lateral area. That's the area of the 4 triangular faces. Since it's an area, I need to remember my unit, square yards. Now that we have the lateral area, we just need to find the area of the base. And in this case, the base is a rectangle. So we know the formula for the area of a rectangle is base times height. Here, the base and height are both 12, and 12 times 12 is 144. So the area of that square base is 144 square yards. Well, now we have everything we need to find the surface area. The surface area is just the lateral area. That's the area of all the triangular faces, plus the area of the base. So we just take our 2 values that we've already calculated, lateral area 321.6, area of the base 144, and we add those together and get 465.6. So that makes the surface area of the pyramid 465.6 square yards. Let's try another example. This time our pyramid, you can see, has a polygon base. This is a pentagon. It has 5 sides. And the first thing we need to do is find the perimeter of that base. So the perimeter is equal to the number of sides times the side length. This has 5 sides, and you can see that each side is 8. And 5 times 8 is 40. So there's our perimeter. And then the slant height is labeled in the picture. The slant height is that 10.6. So now let's plug that into our lateral area equation. Perimeter times slant height divided by 2. So I'm going to take 40 times 10.6, type that in my calculator, hit enter, and then divide by 2. And when you do that, the calculator will give you 212. So the lateral area of this pentagonal pyramid is 212 square feet. Now let's find the area of the base. This base is a regular polygon, and the formula for calculating the area of a regular polygon is area equals the apothem times the perimeter divided by 2. Now the apothem is marked in the picture. You can see that's right here, the 5.5. And then the perimeter we already calculated in step 1. So we just need to take that 5.5, multiply it by the perimeter, 40, and then divide the result by 2. And you can type that whole thing right into your calculator, and when you do that, it gives you 110. So that's the area of the pentagonal base, 110 square feet. Now we're going to find the surface area, And the surface area is just the lateral area plus the area of that pentagon base. So we'll take 212, add 110, and that adds to 322. So our surface area would be 322 square feet. Here's one final example. This pyramid has a triangular base. I think you have to be careful on the triangular bases because all sides are triangles. So we're going to always let the base be the bottom because here's the vertex of the pyramid right there. So the base is that one that I outlined in purple. Notice that all the sides of my base are 5. I'm going to redraw the base off to the side. See how they're all labeled 5 yards? And then that dotted line through the middle of the triangular base, that's the height of the triangle, and we're going to need that later when we calculate the area of the triangle. So 4.3 right there. Starting with the lateral area, though, we know that the first step is to get the perimeter. And the perimeter of the base is equal to, there are 3 sides, each side is 5. 3 times 5, 15. The slant height is that 4.3. It goes from the vertex to the center of an edge of the base. So for our lateral area, let's just plug those into our equation. P times L divide by 2. So take your calculator and do 15 times 4.3, hit enter, and then divide by 2. And don't do any rounding. When you do that, you are going to end up with 32.25. So that is our lateral area, 32.25 square yards. Now for the area of the base was a triangle, and the formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. The base of our triangle, you can see, is the 5, and the height of our triangle is 4.3. So let's take 5 times 4.3 and then divide the result by 2. And when you do that, you get 10.75. So the area of that triangle base is 275 square yards. Now for the surface area, we'll just add the lateral area plus the area of that triangular base. So 32.25 plus 10.75, add those up, and it's exactly 43. So our surface area of this triangular pyramid is 43 square yards. So we've now looked at an example of each type of pyramid: rectangular pyramids, triangular pyramids, and pyramids that have a regular polygon base. Thanks for watching, and good luck as you find some surface areas on your own. Bye.